Hi, it's Guy DiMartino. I'm a Northwest Indiana estate planning lawyer. If you ever like to have a discussion about estate planning or probate matter or some dispute regarding an estate plan or probate matter, you can always set an appointment either by phone or by video at indianaestatemeeting.com. Today I'd like to talk about the concept of contracting to be put in a will. For instance, many times I receive phone calls from family members who said, my parent told me that I was going to get so-and-so. So the question is, can somebody contract to be placed in a will for distribution of certain properties? The concept of contracting to be put in a will is a valid legal concept. However, it's sort of squirrely in that many times people will say, well, I was promised so-and-so, and my next question is, well, is it in writing? And they say no. My mother, my dad, my uncle, my grandfather just told me. And oral contracts are very, very difficult to prove. You would have to be able to prove the contract, that the statement was made, that there was some type of consideration for the agreement, and that there was some type of overt act, some type of act that would go ahead and show that that is what the person really intended to do. So for instance, if your grandfather said, you are going to get my 1968 souped up Mustang, and now you're saying, well, there was a contract for me to get that, and I ask you where the writing is, you say there's no writing, but he did say it, and so was present, and you know what else he did? He carved my name in the glove box. You see, that would be an overt act, and you might be able to show the oral contract. You see, there's this concept out there called the statute of frauds. Has nothing to do with fraud, but it really requires contracts over a certain amount or contracts that take a certain amount of time to fulfill to be in writing. So it's best to get a writing, but how are you going to do that with Grandpa who wants to give you the 1968 or 1972 Mustang? Grandpa, can you put that in writing? Can we have this contract in writing? Most people do not think about it. But if you have a writing and you have all the elements of that are required for a contract, then yes, you can possibly push the issue to get that piece of property. So the elements that you would need in order to prove the contract would be an offer. I'm going to give you so-and-so, acceptance, and then consideration, which is like a bargain for exchange. Doesn't necessarily have to mean money. It could go like this. Johnny, you have been a very good grandchild. You have worked here on the farm and you've done so-and-so. I'm getting older. I want to give you my Mustang, but I'm going to ask you to keep on cutting the lawn and taking care of the odds and ends on the farm. You see, you say yes. And so then you have the offer, you have the acceptance and you saying yes, and you have the consideration, this bargain for exchange, that you're going to continue doing the upkeep in the barn area and around the property, or whatever the bargain for exchange is. If you have any questions about Indiana probate or estate matter, you can always give me a call. I am Guy DiMartino. Have yourself a great day.